Welcome. In this section of GS Paper 4 Solutions, let's talk about one of the major case studies which was in the 2021 paper. Now, this case study is about the COVID-19 pandemic, and on one of the days it was reported that 56,000 cases of corona had been reported. Now, with limited health infrastructure, it was definitely a burden. Government implemented a lockdown throughout the country. Schools shifted to online learning, and India was not actually prepared for this all of the sudden crisis that happened in terms of human resources, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the money flowing in for the resource, and therefore it created a difficult situation where there were deficiency in hospital beds, oxygen cylinders were running short, there was shortage of hospital staff, ambulance and crematorium. Now let's say you are a hospital administrator at that time in a hospital, and how would you handle the day in and the day out situation? Now, based on this, there were two questions which were asked. One question was that what would be your criteria and justification for putting the clinical and the non-clinical staff to attend the patients, knowing that it is highly infectious and the resources are limited. Now, two things that you have to identify here. First of all, whether the staff is clinical or the staff is non-clinical, right? Now, either of the staff, first thing should be the staff should be vaccinated. The second condition that you can consider is the comorbidities. The staff which is relatively healthy would be put on the front line, and the staff which has comorbid conditions could be put on a secondary front. So, as a hospital administrator, these are the two most important things you would consider. Now, the next important thing would be the age of the hospital staff member. Another important thing is the vulnerability, or what we already believed as comorbidity. But again, the family members here, when I say vulnerability, I include the family members, whether the child has a small baby at home or an elderly person at home, could be taken into consideration. The next important point would be competence. How well the staff is competent to handle the situation. Now, again, it should be made sure that rotational basis is done. One staff should not be given a prolonged duty, so the duty time should be well segregated. The another important thing is, since it was a period of high emotional, social, mental stress, getting the staff out of the shackles is again important. So, to handle that, probably you could have 1 hour or half hour of entertainment or refreshments in between when the staff is handling the crisis situation, to make them, to keep them motivated, to keep them mentally strong and emotionally strong. Now, again, non clinical staff could be put in duties like maintaining the roster, making video calls, creating text messages to the people who are to be admitted or who are waiting in queue, arranging the hospital beds, oxygen cylinders. All of those tasks could be handled to the non-clinical staff. The clinical staff, the duties should be given in rotation, and that's again important thing. Another important thing is mentoring. How well you can mentor the people and the population is again important. Now, another important thing that you need to understand here is the duty principle. So, with your limited infrastructure, limited resources, it's important that the resources are allocated judicially for all. And since the resources are should be allocated judicially to all, it should be taken into consideration that people from poor strata are again given beds. They are not being tortured for not knowing the basic language proficiency or being illiterate. Also, keeping the staff healthy should be one of the priorities. Implications on a global scale must be addressed. That means, if we as a hospital staff would not handle this pandemic situation, what would be the scenario of the country? There are people losing their parents, children getting orphaned, people losing their siblings, their partners. So, all of this situation, as an hospital administrator, should be in your mind, and the idea should be with utmost priority to control the pandemic by all means. So, that should be the most important thing, specifically when you are in a public sector. The next question was, if yours is a private hospital, the justifications that we have discussed would remain the same? Absolutely yes. But here, along with that, what do you need to take into account? The graded expense. The people who can afford could be charged higher. People who cannot afford should be charged normally. There should be bonus to the staff. Since you are a private organization, you can provide bonus to the staff. This bonus can be in both forms. It could be in monetary forms, or it could be in motivational form. Along with that, proper breaks for the staff. This would involve good systematic rotation of the staff, giving them breaks within the duty so that they are able to revive and come back on their work. So, those are some of the things that would be additional to the points that we have discussed. Breaks and rotation we had already discussed, but it's a very important point, because ultimately, if the exposure levels are high, there is higher probability for getting greater illness, and therefore, if there are proper rotations, you are making sure that your staff is not infected and your staff is well protected. So, as an administrator, your also a major objective would be to protect the staff, the health of the staff, right? Along with the global good, the global well-being that you are trying to focus on. So this was one of the case studies that we had discussed. We'll be discussing each case study in a separate lecture. Case studies are extremely important, extremely scoring, so don't miss those and prepare for them very nicely.